we're going to have a heart to heart with real estate agents, and I'm not sure you're going to like it. I actually think the second half of 2024 is going to be the slowest period of my investing career. I've been looking at my market every day for 20 plus years. I've been doing at least a single transaction every year, with most years being multiple. And I don't have good news for you. I believe what's going on with interest rates, what's going on with the economy, what's going on with the election, what's going on with the NAR settlement, what's going on with everything, that we are going to have the slowest transaction period over the next 6 months than we've had in any other 6 month period in my investing career,
I
which
believe
means
it. Yep.
if you are paid on commission, if you are paid on appraisals, if you are paid on inspections, you better get lean, you better exit the business, or you better find other income streams. And we're going to have a conversation with an entrepreneur, Omar Alfaro, who is in the thick of it in the Inland Empire, man. What's going on? Or the high desert, excuse me, the high desert.
Yeah, Inland Empire, High Desert. I mean, we have multiple properties. We sell across, Southern California. But yeah, and I don't want to sugarcoat it because everyone needs to hear it, and I get messages on a daily that, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? How are you, adjusting, when I'm posting some of the rental properties and such. And I'll tell you this, like if it wasn't for the rental income, no bullshit. Um, I would not have survived this 3% to 7% swing, over the last 12 months, 18 months, because of the cash flow that I've generated. It's helped me weather
Yeah.
the storm because sales and transactions went, down. And I'm looking at my numbers from 2 years ago as a group. We have goals that we were going to try to hit 350 transactions, 410 transactions. And I think it was 290 or 285 or something like that. Now it's like, okay, are we going to break 100 transactions? And we know what we're talking about. We
Yeah.
know how to convey the message. We have the skills, and we do the role plays. But the crazy thing is, you can still do the role plays and the skills and the practices. But if you don't have the motivation of sellers truly to do something, as a real estate agent, as
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
real estate professional, you won't, truly convey and convince someone against their will if they don't got a place to go. And
Yeah. It's
that's what we're
gonna get
seeing right now.
the real estate agents and anybody who gets a little drip off transactions, it's just gonna suck. It is, I mean, if you did, I'm just gonna make up a number. Let's say you're an individual agent, you did 20 deals in 2022.
Okay.
It would not be a
20 deals.
shock to me if you did 2 or 3 deals in 2024. Dude, it may not shock me if you do zero transactions in the again, I just want people to realize what I see coming is a very slow transaction business. Sellers aren't motivated to lower their prices, at least yet. Buyers are sticker shock. We also have this election, economy, recession, all this stuff going on where the consumer is going to pull back, Omar. I don't know what else to tell you. I've been studying the consumer for 30 years. And when they're scared, they're nervous or pissed off, they don't sign mortgage documents. So
No, and
it's
you know
just going to
what?
get slow.
Yeah. A good point because, and looking at numbers like, your numbers and, we know ours in our area, over the last month, let's go from May to all of June, we've had an increase of 180 homes for sale in the market. Now we're over the 1,000. We're going to hit 1,100 homes here this week. 1,100 homes when we were talking about stuff at 600,
I remember.
800, and it just keeps on trickling up. The transaction side of it are a lot lower. But what's crazy is I'm noticing something is that if the transactions are lower, it looks like the median home price has increased a little bit.
Which
And
drives people insane.
which is like, okay, well, why is it all of a sudden now 430K?
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. And I got into so many battles with doomers who do not understand this. The median home price is basically a listing of all the homes sold, and you pick the number in the middle.
Yep.
Remember, the housing market is broken. Okay, great. That's cute. What do you mean? It means the low end of the market is not listing. You're not getting the inventory. So if you take 100 and you just pick the number in the middle, 50, and for whatever reason, only 20 of what normally would be 50 show up because interest rate lock in, because people are keeping them as rentals, because
Yep.
whatever, right? It's not
Yep.
showing up. However, you still have the 50 or maybe now 70 homes above the median. It's just a math equation. So what's happening, and this really drives people crazy. I love this stuff, but it drives people crazy. We are seeing significant discounts on
Yes, we are.
expensive properties. For example, now this data I have is from Manhattan, probably the most absurd market on the planet. But this is
Absurd, I'm sure.
this
Yes.
but the story is the same.
Correct.
In Manhattan, the average price is $2 million. The median price is 1.2. If you want to get a discount, list price to close price, right? So that's what everybody talks about. Hey, it's listed at
Yep.
X. I want to buy something lower. Do you know where you get the biggest discount?
Tell me.
The top 10% of the market. So think about that. You're getting $1 million off, 500 grand off, 400 grand off, but it's at the top of the market, which is
Right.
going to mean more transactions, and it will just pull the median higher because you have nothing at the low end. It's a math problem, folks. And I want all of the doomers who lit me up 2 years ago when I tried to show you how this worked on a whiteboard to apologize. I mean, God, it's only math, people.
Michael, this is interesting. Like, and maybe Manhattan being that, like that it's its own world, like Orange County is, right?
Mhm.
And there's pockets
Yeah.
where we live in. Let's just call it the lowest median home price, Fresno.
Well, yeah, let's try
plus
that. Let's talk
Vegas
high
as
desert.
well.
Yeah, let's talk
Okay.
high desert. So this is what I want people to realize. Manhattan is a unique story just because I have the data. But I argue, and I've had people just in the last 48 hours send me about a dozen markets and agree with the following. So if you could tell me your median home price, whatever it is, 220, 400, what 180, whatever you are, whatever the median is.
Okay.
Today, go look at your market. Find out how many active listings you have below the median. Then go find out how many you have at 2x the median. And then what I want you to do
2x.
is 2x. And then what I
Okay.
want you to do is track that. And what you're going to start to see is that the ratio is pretty wild, right? Below the median, not a lot of new listings. Transactions are still moving, but above 2x the median, which I call luxury. I think if you're in any market in any city, if you're 2x the median, that's a luxury home. And that stuff is stacking, and it's getting more price drops. So it's pretty wild to think about.
Yeah, Michael, this is you said it. The housing market is broken.
Yeah, it's broken.
And
Broken.
but being that it's broken, you're able to create, if you have the skill set, you're able to
Yeah.
create some discounts. And
So
you're able to add.
yeah, let's try to give, because this started off with real estate agents. Your job, right?
Yeah.
Some of you are going to have to get second jobs. Some of you are going to leave the business. But if I was a real estate agent and I was starving, and your market is behaving like I just highlighted to you, what would I do? What would Michael Zuber's advice be to you? Frankly, because again, below the median, not a lot of listings, blah, blah, blah. I would try to find a way. I mean, this is what I would do. Like if I paid my mortgage, if I paid for my kids' food because of selling real estate and that's all I had, I was all or nothing.
Okay.
I
Right.
would research every property 2x the median.
Okay.
I would find out how much equity they have. Do they own it free and clear? What's their mortgage rate? I would spend time, because again, let's just say, hey, there's 50 listings above the median.
Right.
I'm just going to guess 10 of them are owned free and clear.
Hmm.
10 of them have probably been owned for 20 years plus. And then what I would do, even if you don't have the listings, I would call the listing agent as a broker and say, hey, I noticed you're listing at 123 Main Street. It's been on the market 88 days. It's had one price drop. Seems like the seller might be motivated. I'm trying to figure out if they might be open to seller financing because I have a long list of investors behind me, but we're only buying seller finance deals. I would do something
100%.
like that,
Okay.
right? I would make myself busy. That's what I
And
would
you
do to get.
can that way.
Absolutely, you can. Yeah.
This is what's crazy, Michael. Well, we're talking about about the creative financing. This is where like maybe it might be either a hallucination or an avenue where it's like, hey, any owner financing deals that I'm able to get, I will buy.
Yeah. It's
And
because, again, if you could set the
period.
price and terms to cash, because, again, with one caveat, it has to
Yes.
cash flow day one.
Day one, 100%.
You add that, you
I
give me 10 years of balloon, I'm signing. Dude, I will buy $5 million properties if I could get seller financing and feel really, really confident it will cash flow as a rental.
Yeah,
Why do
because
I
guess
care?
what? You can't you don't have to qualify for anything.
No, no.
And
Again,
then you get other money to do your down payment. Now you're out zero, and now you're just making money.
this is why I'm telling you, right? I really feel bad for agents. I hear a lot of agents crying, whining, because, again, it's not as easy as 3 years ago. Dude, last 3 years was an anomaly. It will never be that easy again. Just
And I hope
if
everybody bought something
yeah,
and created something and had some type of like something to show for it, not just a nice car.
yeah, because, again, think about what you told us earlier. You came on this channel, said, "Hey, I've had a rough go of it." And it was the rentals that allowed me to kind of, get through it more comfortably. But
Yeah,
now if you're an agent, all you have is commission and you've got a leased
bro.
Land Rover and a leased
Oh,
BMW and all this other crap, you better start picking up that phone and making some moves.
making dials I'm going to take my own advice too, because I'll be honest with you. Like I've been on the phones a lot, right? And in my career, I've been on the phones, conversations, shitty ones, great ones, awesome ones, people hanging up. Like
Hmm.
you get that that scar, right? The scar tissue.
Yeah. Yep.
But you're used to it. And honestly, when you create your database and you've been in the game long enough, like people just all of a sudden come to you without you truly going out and getting it.
Hmm.
But what I'm going to tell you is even if people used to come to you and you had a great database, if you stop doing what got you to where you're at, you're going to see a hit.
Mhm.
You will see a hit. And I myself saw a hit because I stopped cold calling.
Stop doing the
Making,
work.
I stopped doing the work, right? But because I was focusing family, the rentals, making sure I had enough equity coming out of these properties, making sure my rentals were like substantial, right? Because that is a constant,
Yep.
right? Even though I did not, and I made that mistake, and I'm going to tell you guys that I did make a mistake for not staying on the phones. But you know what? I I moved my focus to the portfolio.
Yeah.
I was blessed enough to have a portfolio that lasted me through this, and this is what's
Yeah.
getting me out of my, current issue.
Predicament. Yeah. No, I
Predicament.
love it.
Yeah, and I'm going to say predicament at every level because
Yeah.
everybody I talk to, their predicament might be $200,000 a month. My predicament is less than that, but other people have to go make more to
Mhm.
justify and to make their nut every single month. So
Yeah.
you have to be creative.
Yeah. If here's kind of the closing thought on all this. This next 6 months could probably be the hardest 6 months of your real estate career.
I agree.
It's going to happen whether you like it or not. You can give up now and go become a Starbucks barista. It's okay. No problem. Or you could acknowledge the flame and just get through it. Find a way to do something every day, to pick up the call, to farm, to make calls. Trust me, folks, motivated sellers are going to start raising their hand. And the agent that reaches out first is going to win. That's just how it works.
I'll say this: the real estate professional, not the agent. Okay,
Yeah, I
there's a
like
big
that.
difference.
There
The
is.
agent only looks at the commission and what's in it for themselves in regards to, I want a commission check. I want to list this property. I want to go represent a buyer. Fine, do it all, right? But the real estate professional will look at this potential seller. They may not want to be on the market. They may want that cash offer. This is where you have to, increase your skill set to like see the difference between, is this a listing? Or is this a house I'm buying? Or is this a house I'm subtoing? Is this a house where I'm gonna owner finance it and then sell it? So you're out of pocket zero, and then you sell it for a 30 or 40 spot, $40,000 versus a $7,000 or $8,000 commission check. Like that's literally what you have to go through if you're in front of these sellers.
Couldn't agree more. Again, folks, I don't have I will tell you at the other side of the next 6 months, it does get easier, it gets better. I will also tell you, if you get to the other side, you will be monumentally better off for it. You will feel like a superhero because you will remember this 6 months, and ideally it never comes around again. But it's coming. It's going to smack a lot of people. We're going to have a lot of bankruptcies, a lot of people leave, a lot of losses. And I guess the last thing is we're also going to have some people that build a lot of wealth, because the people that
Yeah,
get the seller finance deal, the people that get the creatives, the people that can get the no money down deals, they're just going to scoop up when this, ultimately the boom comes back.
absolutely. This is gonna be a crazy ride, and we're gonna be talking about what we're going through every Tuesday, Michael.
There you go, buddy. Omar, where can people find you?
Guys, follow me on IG at Invest with Omar, or go to my YouTube channel at Omar Alfaro.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks again.
Thank you.